more war. Sadly, that's a reality for a great deal of countries. Syria, Yemen, and a great deal of countries in Africa, including Ethiopia and Sudan. And in 1902, the landscape was set for even more war in the colonial Africa when Sudan and Ethiopia entered into an agreement saying that this was the border for Sudan. But then later in 1993, according to the New York Times, during the Sudanese Civil War, Ethiopia came and took over that border region. And so since then, there has been tensions between the two countries. And that begs the question, because of those tensions, is there a major conflict looming between Ethiopia and Sudan? And the answer is yes, because the landscape has been set for this conflict through an Ethiopian-made water crisis, the Ethiopian Civil War, and tensions at the Alpha Shaka region. But first, let's look how the Ethiopians created a dam at the Nile River to create a water crisis for its neighboring countries down the Nile. So Ethiopia, according to Al Jazeera 2021, has created what's called the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam, which is made to create power for them. But sadly, down to Sudan, they're getting less water, which they need for the stability of the country. And they've tried to come to some agreements, according to Al Jazeera, and a bunch of them, they've all been unsuccessful, creating tensions and each one of the countries antagonizing each other. And according to the Council on Foreign Relations 2021, it's got to the point where the Sudanese Transitional Cabinet has asked the United Arab Emirates to come in and to help mediate this crisis between the two countries. But even with the UAE involved, there has been no successful negotiations. So Sudan has come in and they have said, we are sick of this. And they have said, we are ready for this to end. And they have threatened the Ethiopian government, if they do not come to any successful negotiations, they will come and they will tear down that dam. Come and tear down that dam. So there has been tensions on this water crisis that Ethiopia has created, causing a ground for tensions and conflict just based on that. But let's look how Ethiopia has created a civil war with its Tigray population and how it is killing them and how that's really affecting tensions between the Sudan and Ethiopian governments. So according to Foreign Policy 2021, the Ethiopian government is at war with its Tigray population. The Amhara population of Ethiopia has taken control of the government, and this has been cited as an ethnic cleansing by the Foreign Policy because the Amhara population is wanting to destroy the Tigray population, massacring and raping innocent women and children. And so the Sudanese government, according to BBC 2021, has noticed this. The Sudanese government has come into the border region of Ethiopia and Sudan and taken it over because the Ethiopian government cannot go over and take that land since they are caught up with their own war with the Tigray, their own civil war. So this has created more tensions because Ethiopia wants their land back, but they can't get it because they are at their own civil war, and Sudan's just here and taking land that they have no control over. So Ethiopia is kind of at a standstill. And so this, with Sudan coming into Ethiopia, has created another ground for tensions and conflict. But last, at the Alpha Shaka region, Ethiopia and Sudan has come in, like I said, due to the civil war, but the Amhara population, instead of sending the actual Ethiopian government, they're sending their own militant groups to massacre their own Ethiopian population and to kill off the Sudanese troops. So, according to the New York Times 2021, what's happened is the Amhara population has sent in troops to take back this border region, which really originally was Sudan's, but they want it back because in 2008 they entered into a soft border agreement where the border, that Alpha Shaka region, is really not Sudan's and it's really not Ethiopia's. They just share that region together. And so now that Ethiopia is involved in their own war, they think they can take it back. But the Amhara population is saying, no, we want that back, sending their own militant groups and killing off many innocent civilians. Because of this, the landscape for conflict has been set because Ethiopia and Sudan are already fighting against each other. It just takes one more little action, and this could set off into a large war between the two countries. So, war is a problem, and it's really not. It's a choice for many countries, but it's really not a choice because they are entering it into it all the time. So, because of an Ethiopian-made water crisis, because of an Ethiopian civil war and tensions at the Al-Fashaka region, the grounds have been set, and yes, a major conflict is looming between Ethiopia and Sudan.